Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. Now we've been spending a lot of time solving quadratics. We solved it by factoring, then we solved it by actually doing opposite operations. Now ladies and gentlemen, there is an actual formula that you can plug numbers into to get the answers or the solutions to a quadratic. If the quadratic has ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then the a, the b, and the c can be used to find the solutions to a quadratic equation. And I'm going to show you that formula right now, and we're going to write it right here. So let me go ahead and show you and start this formula by saying we're going to have x equal to, now I'm going to take that b, but I'm going to say negative b, so the opposite of b, plus or minus, if you can remember that plus or minus we had, the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All of that's going to be divided by 2a. This quadratic formula will give you the solutions to a quadratic, and you won't have to factor it, you won't have to use inverse operations. You just have to plug in the a, the b, and the c where they're indicated in the formula. So we're going to do two examples, and then I'm going to teach you a song that you can memorize the quadratic formula to. Let's go ahead and get started. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our first example. X squared plus 5x minus 24 equals 0. By the way, it has to equal 0 in order for you to do this. So, what do? Well, first of all, a. A is the number in front of the x squared. This is going to be the number 1. B is going to be the number next to the x. So that's going to be the number 5. And c is the number that's by itself. In this case, it's negative 24 because it's a minus 24. We're going to use these numbers to solve the quadratic using the quadratic formula. So let's go ahead and do this. X equals, we're going to do the opposite of b, which is the negative 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 5 squared, minus 4, which is part of the formula, times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 24. And all of this will be divided by 2 times the a value, which in this case is 1. Now, if you plug in the numbers correctly, I can give you partial credit. But then we got to do some simplification. So, let's go ahead and simplify this. And it really doesn't take too much because, you know, we got calculators and we can use our calculators to help us simplify. So let's go ahead and do this. Ready? Well, it's going to start off negative 5 plus or minus. So far nothing's changed. Well, 5 squared is 25. And then I'm going to multiply negative 4 times 1 times negative 24. This is going to come out to positive, and it's positive 96. Okay? 96. And all of this is going to be over 2 times 1, which is just 2. All right. Let's add 25 and 96. Let's see. I got negative 5 plus or minus square root of 25 plus 96 turns out to be 121. All of that is going to be over 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take the square root of 121, and that turns out to be 11. So I got -5 plus or minus 11 divided by 2. Now this is where you could leave your answer like this, or you can change it into -5 plus 11 over 2, or -5 minus 11 over 2. Okay? Now, of course, I'm going to want to simplify this a little bit more, so I'm going to go ahead and drag my screen down here. -5 plus 11 is 6 divided by 2, or I've got -16 divided by 2, because -5 minus 11 is -16. This will give us our answers of x equals 3 or x equals -8. And once again, we could have factored it, or we could have used inverse operations, but the quadratic formula will give us our answers. We just have to do some math. And it's just another way of solving these quadratics. Again, I will teach you a song so that you will be able to know the quadratic formula in class. All right. Let's look at our last example here. Example number 2. We've got 3x squared plus 7x minus 20 equals 0. And ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do is I'm going to want you to pause the video, and I want you to tell me what is A, what's B, and what's C. After pausing the video, you should have told me that A is 3, B is 7, and C is -20. Okay? Once again, pause the video and plug in those into the quadratic formula, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it. Hopefully you paused the video and you wrote this down. -b, which is -7, plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is -20. All of this is going to be over 2 times a, which is 3 this time. All right. So, good job if you wrote that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to write -7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared is 49. And if I have -4 times 3 times -20, ladies and gentlemen, this comes out to positive 240. Positive 240. Now, I know some of y'all are like, sir, how would I know this? Use your calculator. Over 2 times 3, which is 6. All right. Next, we take our values inside of the square root sign and we add them together. So we got -7 plus or minus square root of 49 plus 240 is 289. And that's going to be over 6. Now 289 is one of those perfect squares that I told you to please memorize, because you're going to use it over and over again by the time you leave high school. And it is plus or minus 17. The square root of 289 is 17. And that's going to be over 6. This is going to result into two questions, or two answers. -7 plus 17 over 6, or -7 minus 17 over 6. Okay? And we're just going to simplify these so we can get the right answers, or the answers that come out. X is going to be, in the first one, negative 7 plus 17 is 10 over 6. Or I got negative 7 minus 17, which is negative 24 over 6. And these can be simplified to 5 over 3, or x is equal to negative 4. And this is our final answer. There will be some more examples, and we'll be doing some in class, and of course you'll have some to enter in the answers on Canvas. Hopefully you'll enjoy the song. I'll teach you to memorize the quadratic formula. Good luck, and thank you for watching. Please remember to hit reply and done when you're finished.